Did you know there are actually a ton of different New Year's Eve traditions in Spanish-speaking countries? These can be so fun to share with your students. Today, I wanted to share with you a lesson plan you could use to talk about one of those New Year's Eve traditions with your classes, Las Uvas en España. Hey, it's Ashley, aka Senior Spanish, where I provide easy-to-use resources to save you time and energy while you're lesson planning. If you're new here, I just want to make sure you know that links to everything that I mentioned in this video will be down in the description box below. Okay, whether you're doing this before winter break or you just need a lesson plan that's easy to come back to after winter break, this is so fun. It's also a great idea to have your students reflect on their hopes, goals, dreams, anything like that when you're talking about like New Year's Eve traditions and you're thinking about what do we want to happen in the coming year. This Spanish tradition of 12 grapes is fun to pair with a reflection and kind of a goal-setting activity with your students while you're teaching them about this cultural tradition. And when you're all done, you'll have a cute bulletin board to hang up in your classes. So if you're somebody who's supposed to be rotating a bulletin board on a certain amount of frequency, but you kind of struggle getting that done, hey, I feel your pain. This will help you with that too. So let's get right into that lesson. As always, I always start my lessons with the start of class routine. I have a longer video where I go into this in much more detail. I'll make sure to link it for you here and down in the description box below, so I won't waste your time going too much into that now. That takes about 8 minutes of class. After the start of class routine, we do whatever our daily routine is for that day. Again, I have a longer video where I explain my daily routine, so if you haven't heard me talk about them before and you're going, daily routines, what? I would like to hear more about that. That's where you can hear more about them. So we do our start of class routine and then whatever our daily routine is for the day. That's about 15 minutes of our class period, and then we're going to get into the cultural lesson that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. So first off in this lesson, we read about the New Year's Eve tradition of eating 12 grapes at midnight. An optional part of this lesson, but honestly, one of my favorite parts of this lesson is to give your students mini marshmallows to simulate the 12 grapes. And I chose marshmallows because they are way cheaper, or at least they are way cheaper where I live. It's way cheaper to buy like 2 bags of mini marshmallows than it is to buy enough grapes for every student to have 12. As always, anytime you're thinking about doing a lesson that involves food, even if it's just marshmallows, make sure you reach out to your grown-ups first. You check kids' IEPs, 504s, etc., all of the paperwork and data, and make sure that you don't have any allergies. And the age of my students, I'm also asking students before I put marshmallows on their desk and saying, do you have any allergies? Is this something you can have? Because when I work with, 13, 14, 15, 16-year-olds, sometimes 18-year-olds, depending, right? It's a mix. But upper level students are usually aware enough and responsible enough to say, no, I can't have that. And then, that's fine, right? I do check ahead of time, but I always double check before I put the marshmallows in front of them, just in case. Also, super, super important, mini marshmallows. Do not give them like the full size or the big size marshmallows, because then you're gonna have, it'll be difficult. Nobody can eat 12 large marshmallows on the stroke of a clock, right? So we're all about safety here. No allergies, yes, mini marshmallows. And again, this piece is totally optional. But after you read about the tradition, I love to pass out mini marshmallows, and then I just project a video, usually from YouTube, where it's a clock chiming 12, right? So it's going ding, 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 and we do it together. So the kids are eating marshmallows as the clock is chiming, everybody's laughing. Sometimes they're trying to, kids, they're throwing a. Either way, it's super fun and possibly my favorite part of this lesson because it makes it a little more concrete and a little more engaging. After we've done the marshmallows and the clock chimings, we're going to complete the craft. And this is something that has a few different options. You can give each student one grape, or you can give them the handout that's got a whole bunch of grapes, and then they're going to write their deseos for the new year on each of those grapes. This resource is perfect for your language learners because they can self-level. Like if you do this with novices, they can write just individual words or infinitives on the grapes, maybe different chunks, but it's pretty easy for them. Your upper levels can, write in a few more words, even a short sentence inside the grapes. Even though the space is pretty limited, they can fit a short sentence inside as well. Then once they've written, they're gonna color the grapes, cut them out, and you're gonna hang them up on that bulletin board. I do also have an absent version for this lesson, especially this time of year. Students might be gone, students might be traveling, there might be sports tournaments, all of that sort of stuff. There is an absent version where everything is digital. It's on Google Slides, so they can do their readings and make their set of grapes on Google Slides that you just post in your secured LMS for your students. So one more thing I want to share with you about this lesson plan that's probably my favorite part about this lesson plan is something that has happened several times over the years is students have gone home and then they've done this activity with their families over break. So this is something where I've gotten an email from Guardian saying, hey, so-and-so came home and they talked about this thing, so they made us go to the grocery store and we bought some grapes and then we did this on New Year's Eve as a family and it was actually so fun. I love hearing that they're taking what they learned in Spanish class and bringing it home to their families and sharing about these other cultures with their families. And how fun is that they can do this kind of New Year's Eve tradition in their own houses as well. So there you have it, a one-day lesson plan you can use to teach about cultural traditions this time of year with your classes, either before or after winter break, whatever works best for you and your plans. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, all the resources you need to complete this lesson, minus the mini marshmallows, I can't email those to you, are down in the description box below. And if you need more ideas for different wintry, holiday, or snowy themed activities you can do with your classes, make sure you check out my playlist here for you on wintry activities. It's perfect for this time of year. All right, got it? I'll see you in the next one. Bye.